Hi, Kate Duffy here from Tipping Point Recovery, where we're doing everything different. We're like a family intensive outpatient program. And what I want to explain to you today is how you are just like your loved one. So I want to start out by saying sorry if that's offensive, but I've learned that we're all better off if we tell the truth. And we can't deny what we see being the exact same kinds of behaviors for similar and different reasons in family members as we do in those struggling with drug and alcohol addiction. And honestly, for me, it's a moral obligation to teach this now, because when I was struggling and lying to my children, what it did to them, nobody came and explained to them, you're not crazy. Your mom is doing this, and this is why you feel this way, and here's the solution. So that's why I'm doing this. So sorry, not sorry, but you're just like your loved one. Let me explain. Best way I can explain this is to describe to you that when someone is struggling with drug and alcohol addiction, imagine they go to the emergency room. There's three systems that are working or all happening around that individual, right? There's the medical system, their doctors, the emergency room. There's the addiction treatment system that we wish they'd go to, but that's a whole industry. There's the whole medical industry. And then there's the family system. There are more systems, there's a community, but these are the three primary systems that are operating kind of around the alcoholic, the individual struggling. Yet none of these systems are communicating. We have a privacy law that's protecting the individual who has a disease that makes them lie and deny and minimize and rationalize. So what they're doing is they're minimizing their disease around these systems. And the systems are trying to shift and get in place to support them and be ready when they need them. But if you picture these systems as three columns, this individual is falling through the cracks of each one, gaping holes in between these systems. They're not working together. So what we're doing at Tipping Point is we are strengthening the family system so those cracks get closed. And today I just want to teach you how you're just like your loved one. Okay? Again, I'm not doing this because it's fun. I'm doing this because it's what we need to get better. There's a way out from this, but let me explain the pattern that you're caught in, and that you have to identify for yourself what fits for you, right? Because I'm generalizing, and I'm generalizing though based on hundreds of examples. I see it daily. And the faster you catch on to this and you agree with what I'm sharing, the faster you can start to get yourself and everyone in your family on a path to wellness. So an alcoholic is using drugs and alcohol, not because it's fun anymore. Once this disease starts progressing, it's far from fun. It's maintenance. And they're using it because they're medicating something that's going on inside them. Many of us started using in our early teenage years, which means we're not fully developed with life skills, coping skills, managing money, learning how to communicate in relationships, holding a job, paying bills, all of it, mainly regulating our emotions. So we pour drugs and alcohol over the things that are happening on the inside of us, which causes us to numb out. And then as it progresses, it gets worse. And our behavior becomes all about getting the next fix or getting the next drink. Our behavior is no longer what your behavior is, which is let's live life, let's enjoy life. But what's happening to you, because you're around this frequency of disconnection, of numbing out, of lying, of minimizing, of justifying, what's happening to you is you get to decide, but I'll give you some examples. You might be chasing that person, wanting to do their recovery for them, wanting to get them to do something different. A question I often get from families is, how can I get them to, if you hear yourself, how can you get anyone to do anything? You got to stop right there, because we don't get people to do things. That's a loop right there that you might be caught in. Another one is some people really check out. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I can't even be around you. That's also a loop of denial or displacement or disassociation from it. Not healthy necessarily for you. Certainly healthy in the sense that you've distanced and you have a boundary, but it's not helping you thrive, and it's certainly not helping them. And that's what we want to do. We want to teach families how to help alcoholics because they're not liking what they're doing. despite what you see or might hear from them. So we teach families quickly the pattern of looking outside yourself to feel better. I ask families when they first contact me, what do you want to have happen? I want my loved one to get on a path and stay on it so I can get my life back. And I say, wow, if you're waiting to get your life back for them to get their life together, you're setting yourself up for some disappointment, because recovery is about bumping up and down and falling up and down. And if you're waiting for their sobriety, recovery, wellness before you're going to start to live your life again, you're putting your wellness in the hands of someone that frankly has an illness that, has a high relapse rate. So I suggest you pull yourself away from that spiral, that loop, and start to get yourself grounded. So while we are running a program for families, it is actually for the alcoholic, for the addict. We're running this program so their family can pull away, learn about them, learn about how they're actually in a similar type pattern that inadvertently is keeping this whole cycle going. For us to wait for one person who has the compromised illness, the complicated emotional dysregulation, lack of coping skills, self-medicating with really strong drugs that are changing our brain chemistry, if all these systems are waiting for that one person to want it and climb their way out, we're going to keep losing the number we're losing. We have to rally around these individuals who are struggling, family system, medical system, treatment system. We have to get ourselves all coordinated, linking up so that they don't fall through the cracks when they start to want it. I'll do a whole video on why I don't want you to wait for your loved one to want it and what wanting it even means. So thanks for listening. And if you'd like some more information about how to dig into this material, we finally have our 4-part training, actually 6-part training now. We're adding bonuses all the time. Stop the Chaos. You can find it at tippingpointrecovery.com. And it's our starter training. It's a full month. There's a lot of information to get you to stop the spiraling so that they can stop. Promise you, it's 100% guaranteed, this program. I promise you, it's a game changer. Long videos, bonus content, and a workbook, and a community to engage with you who've all been where you are. So sorry that you're just like your loved one, but I'm glad if you're willing to accept it, there's something you can do about it. That is something you can do about it. So I'll see you on the other side.